Hi, Dr. Wang. This is Joshua McClure. I am demonstrating the small project for CPSC 6119. I'll start with the movie store rental view where the main is located. When you run this, you'll get a pop-up to select the directory where the files are located. I've included a fail-safe in case this window is closed so the program doesn't null out to where it will load the default in the documents directory. So if you click cancel, there's some movies and some customers that already exist. So we'll restart this using the desktop directory with these blank files to start a new system. So when you run this again, we'll head towards the desktop. You can click on any file here because it just parses the directory name, not the file name. So now this is loaded. If you view any of these, it's just going to show a blank table because there's no movies yet. So let's add a movie. We'll add Moana. So this is called through a swing interface, which routes the create movie to the controller, and then the controller routes it to, so you'll see controller to create movie, the controller interface will have the create movie class. You can come to the controller for create movie. It's going to send it to the movie model. And then in the movie model, it will create the movie, write it to the movies.txt, and then it will notify the observers so that way the application can show you the movies that have been added without having to call any of the methods again. So there's Moana for all the movies. So we'll go ahead and add a couple more just to um, have some in. So Star Wars recently came out. Um, and the ID automatically increases with every movie ad. Beauty and the Beast just came out. Um, okay, and then just like the movies, creating the customer follows much of the same process. You have an input here. Both of them have validation where if you enter a blank name or click cancel, it just takes you back to the main menu. So go ahead and add me to the system. And I've been created with ID 1. And you can see that I've been updated in this table. It was blank earlier. And I can add my sister as well to have another customer. All right, so my sister's been added with the ID 2, and it auto increments every time you add a person. So from here, to rent a movie, this will pop up. If either of these are blank, it won't let you rent a movie. It will just return back to the main menu. So you have to have a customer here. Or if you enter a customer that doesn't exist, it will display an error. So the account is not active. So we'll go ahead and add my name. We'll rent Moana, which has now been rented. We'll rent Ghostbusters, which has now been rented. Star Wars was rented. And then with the restriction for at most 3 movies, if you try to add another one, it will display an error message saying that I have 3 movies checked out. So then you can come over here. We can look at all the movies and their availability. We can view all the rented movies. And we can look up the movie history for any movie basically. So this has been movie ID 1, my customer ID, my customer name, and the date out, and there was no date in yet because the movie is checked out. And you can even look up the history of any of the other movies that haven't been checked out, but that's just a blank history. So we can return a movie. We can return Ghostbusters. So that movie has been returned. If you try to return a movie that was not checked out, like Hidden Figures, it will display an error message. It does not run it. This one again also has the return the main menu if you enter a blank field. So if you look at all the movies again, Ghostbusters is now back. It's no longer a rent it movie. Both of those are based off of notify observer calls from the movie model. And then if you want to see a movie history, we return Ghostbusters. So Ghostbusters now has a date out and a date in because it's been returned. Um, with the show all customers, you can see that we have the two accounts, mine and my sister's. We'll go ahead and delete my sister's account, which again, this has the input validation to where it will just exit to the main menu. So we want to delete my sister's account. Account 2 has now been deleted. So if you look at all the customers, you'll see the new status. If you try to rent a movie to her, her account is no longer active. And then the search for customers, if you I said that for the last name, first name format that you put it in, that the assignment requested. So we can look at my sister's account, and it will return the ID, her name, and her status. For my account, it will return my ID, name, and status. And then if you were to input it incorrectly, it won't pull up the account. It will have to be in that format. So all of this is done from the movie model or the movie rental store view. All these buttons have um, classes in them where they call the controller. From the controller, it implements a controller interface that has all of these methods that are called from the movie rental store view. From the controller, it routes it to the correct class. So if you see the customer, delete customer, add customer, search customer, show all customers, those are all calling the client model, which is the client model interface. All of the movie ones, create movie, rent movie, return movie, show all movies, show rent movies, and show movie history, I'll call the movie model class, the movie model interface class. And then if we look at the client model interface class, here's all of the methods related to customers, including the observer method down here that will update all movies, rented movies, and clients that help keep all of these in completely updated based on inputs. Um, the movie model interface has all these methods that call the observers. From movie model, anytime notify observers is called, say in creating a movie, if you come down here to notify observers, it calls update all movies and update rented movies from here, from this interface. And so in the movie rental store view, I believe it has the array updates that call the models and the methods and returns the arrays for the updated list. So that's what causes for Moana to return movie Moana. So whenever you look at the or show all Reddit movies, Star Wars is now there instead of Star Wars and Moana. And that is a basic demonstration overview of what my application will do. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me through the Cougar View email system. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.